Hi friends, very warm welcome to all the students who are watching this particular session. Now today we are going to start with a very interesting and one of the most simplest topic you can ever listen to, that is algebra. Algebra is one of the very simplest topic compared to many other topics which are there in advanced mathematics. Now this particular algebra topic, this will be asked in several examinations like SSC, CGL, CHSL, MTS, CDS. In all of these papers you will have algebra, but the difference between the examinations is the way of asking the question, the way of putting those questions in the most easiest way or slightly tricky way, that matters in all these examinations. And if I want to talk about one of the toughest examination in India, that is CAT examination for doing your MBAs in IIMs, algebra will be completely different from what we study in these particular classes compared to probably taking care of in for examinations like SSC and other examinations. Now my point of view will be for SSC examinations like SSC prelims, mains, all these examinations. My teaching of algebra will be primarily based on these SSC examinations and not based on CAT related examinations. Now if I want to continue further, very simple thing what you need to know. If you have seen the previous year questions of algebra in your SSC examinations, in algebra the questions are repetitive by nature. That means whatever the varieties of questions that we are going to discuss in algebra, many questions have come many times in the past, and there are chances that these questions will repeat again in your examinations once again. But having said that, this time in prelims and main examinations, questions were slightly new, right? They were slightly new and slightly tricky. So what we shall target about is, we shall learn different varieties of problems. We will start with the basic level questions, intermediate level questions. We will move on to advanced level questions also. We will try to tackle all the varieties of questions that can be solved by using this beautiful topic called as algebra. Now, only one thing that I request every student to be very clear before we start this problem is, I am sure that each and every student who is listening to this session, you might have gone through this topic called as algebra in your school days itself, where you will learn some of the basic formulas. I am 100% sure that if you want to crack these SSC examinations with algebra being one of the major topic, I am sure that you should have little basic knowledge about some of the information, knowledge about these formulas as well. If you don't know, you need to have it, sir, because in all our other topics like time, speed and distance, time and work, averages, percentages, profit loss, so many topics you can take into account. I always said that I don't want you to by heart or remember any formulas, but algebra is completely about variables. For variables you need to know the knowledge of a little bit of formula knowledge as well. You need to have it, otherwise you need to sit and derive all the formulas in the examination, which is again a time consuming process. So algebra, you need to know a lot of formulas, a lot of tricks. But if you are fast in calculations, take my words, if you are fast in calculations, you can solve some of the steps in your mind itself without using pen also. Right, without using pen also you can solve some of the questions in your mind itself. Now if I want to talk about, you might be wondering what should be the examination weightage for algebra. If I want to talk about examination weightage, it's very simple, sir. Suppose for example, if I consider prelims examination paper, in prelims examination paper, out of total 25 questions, anywhere from 2 to 6 questions, will come from this beautiful topic called as algebra. And if I want to consider this main examination, SSC mains, if I want to talk about this main examinations, I am talking about not only algebra in this case, I am also including this another topic called as quadratic equations. From algebra and quadratic equations, totally we will be getting 10 questions, right? We will be getting a total of 10 questions in our main examination. So it's not a very low level topic to miss it out. 10 questions is what you are getting out of so many questions what you will be having in quantitative aptitude. So this is one of the major topic. It's a major topic that you need to take care of. Many types of questions are there. I will solve questions based on type wise. Based on type wise, there are so many types of questions, small types. If I keep on putting it, there will be so many varieties of questions that we can solve it here. So before we start the class, only thing, we will try to cover all the varieties of questions in this, which will help you for multiple SSC related examinations. My only request before I start the class, immediately within the next 15 to 20 seconds, by taking some numerical values and the variables, is you should have little knowledge of basics of algebra. And I am sure that if you want to crack an exam like SSC, you should definitely have basic knowledge, sir. Don't expect me to go too much from basic like the way it should be taught in school days. I expect a little of basic knowledge. From there I will take it forward. It's not that I am not starting from basics, but I will not dig too deep, and I will make sure that, or I'll probably assume that you already know few of the things and few of the formulas as well. Chalo sir, let us not waste our time. Let us immediately start. Now see here, sir, we will see various varieties or various types of problem that can be asked. One of the variety of problem is what I am explaining right now. Now I already said algebra is mainly about variables. Algebra is mainly about variables. Suppose I have a variable called as x. I am taking a variable called as x. Now this variable I am equating it to some numerical value. That numerical value I will call it as 3 plus 2 root 2 for time being. I am taking a variable called as x. I am equating that variable to a numerical value called as 3 plus 2 root 2. Now everyone listen carefully, sir. Whatever I am discussing right now, this kind of pattern will keep coming in SSC examination with respect to this topic algebra. So do not ignore whatever I am saying. I will try to cover all the possible varieties in the if you listen to my entire session on algebra. Just to keep on listening. Now x is 3 plus 2 root 2. Now suppose I want to find the reciprocal of x. Reciprocal of x is 1 by x. So 1 by x is 1 divided by 3 plus 2 root 2. Just have patience until I complete some varieties. 1 by x is 1 plus 3 root 3. 1 divided by 3 plus 2 root 2. Now, but the usual convention what we have learnt is, I don't want this 2 root 2 or 3 plus 2 root 2. You all know that 3 plus 2 root 2 is a third, which we have already discussed in thirds and indices also. You all know it. But I don't want that to be in the denominator. I don't want any third to be coming and placing that in the denominator. I want that to come in the numerator. That is the reason we have something called as rationalizing the denominator. That means I will multiply the numerator and denominator by same value. What is that same value? Same value is nothing but the rationalizing factor of 3 plus 2 root 2. And I am sure that this basic knowledge you should have it. The rationalizing factor of 3 plus 2 root 2 is nothing but 3 minus 2 root 2, right? It is 3 minus 2 root 2. So I will multiply and divide by 3 minus 2 root 2. Now the first doubt what my students might get is, sir, 3 plus 2 root 2 is what you have taken here. I can write this 3 plus 2 root 2 also as 2 root 2 plus 3, right? I can also write this as 2 root 2 plus 3. If I write the denominator as 2 root 2 plus 3, then my multiplying factor, that means numerator and denominator rationalizing factor, will become 2 root 2 minus 3 divided by 2 root 2 minus 3. Now the answer will change. Which one should I take? Should I take it as 3 plus 2 root 2 or 2 root 2 plus 3? Which one should I take it in the denominator? Very simple, sir. Whenever you are subtracting any two terms, you should always take care of this factor. The first value should be the higher value compared to the second value. Now, the next question which will come once again for you people is, how are you saying that 3 is greater than 2 root 2? Very simple, check it out. I am putting that in the next screen. I am comparing 3 and 2 root 2. I don't know whether 3 is greater or 2 root 2 is greater. So what I will do is, I will square on both sides. 3 square, this becomes 2 root 2 whole square. 3 square is nothing but 9. 2 root 2 whole square is nothing but 8. Is 9 greater than 8? Yes, 9 is greater than 8. Because 9 is greater than 8, I can say that 3 is greater than 2 root 2. Therefore, 3 should come at the starting, then only 2 root 2 should come. So I will not write it in this pattern. So I will always write it as 3 minus 2 root 2 as the rationalizing factor. I will not write it as 2 root 2 minus 3, because 2 root 2 is lesser than 3. I hope you are clear. I will very clearly explain you all these things, sir, because all these things matters a lot for me. Now, if I simplify further, I am sure that you all know another formula saying that denominator is, it is a plus b into a minus b. A plus b into a minus b is nothing but a square minus b square. So denominator is a square is nothing but 3 square. First problem I am writing it in detail. Don't expect me to write all these things in detail in my upcoming problems. Minus b square is nothing but 2 root 2 whole square. 2 root 2 whole square, I already wrote it in the next screen as 8, right? I already wrote it as 8. So a square minus b square is 3 square minus 8. Numerator is 1 into 3 minus 2 root 2. It is nothing but 3 minus 2 root 2. That means 1 by x happens to be 3 minus 2 root 2 divided by 9 minus 8. 9 minus 8 is nothing but how much? It is nothing but 1 in the denominator. That means, can I say that if x is 3 plus 2 root 2, if x is 3 plus 2 root 2, then definitely 1 by x, which is the reciprocal of it, it will become 3 minus 2 root 2. That means, in simple language, this is the kind of pattern which keeps on repeating in the SSC exam. Listen to this carefully. I will add both x and 1 by x. The sum of one variable and its reciprocal. In this particular example, 2 root 2 minus 2 root 2 cancels. It is 3 plus 3, which is nothing but 6. So it is nothing but 6. Similarly, if I subtract these two, x minus 1 by x is nothing but 3 minus 3 will cancel. 2 root 2 minus of minus 2 root 2. 2 root 2 plus 2 root 2. It is 4 root 2. So very important logic or the pattern which keeps on repeating in your SSC examinations. Whenever you take the sum of a variable and its reciprocal, in this particular example it is 6. We will generalize it after another problem or another example. Do not worry about it. But for time being, in this particular example, the sum of variable and its reciprocal is 6. The difference of variable and its reciprocal in this example is, it is 4 root 2. This is one of the pattern which keeps on coming in your SSC examination in algebra. Please do not ignore it. For the people who did not understand very clearly, I will take another question. Do not worry, sir. I will take as many questions as possible. Suppose these are all. Now, before moving on to our main questions on solving algebra, I want you to learn all these things now itself, and then let us move on to our main problems, so that you will also understand how beautifully and fastly you can solve all those questions within seconds. Now suppose one more example. X is equal to 7 plus 5 root 2. X is equal to 7 plus 5 root 2. I want to find 1 by x. So 1 by x happens to be 1 plus 7 plus 1 divided by 7 plus 5 root 2. Now again the same logic. Is 7 greater or 5 root 2 greater? I have a very big confusion right now. Very simple, sir. Find it out. 7 and 5 root 2 is what you are comparing. 7 square is 49. 5 root 2 whole square is nothing but 5 square 25. Root 2 whole square is 2. 25 into 2 is 50. That means I can say that 49 is lesser than 50. Therefore 7 is less than 5 root 2. So I should not write this 1 by x as 1 by 7 plus 5 root 2. I should write it as 1 by 5 root 2 plus 7, because when I rationalize it, I should multiply the numerator and denominator by 5 root 2 minus 7, because 5 root 2 minus 7 becomes a positive value. Now same explanation, same way of solving. 1 into 5 root 2 minus 7 is 5 root 2 minus 7 divided by 5 root 2 plus 7 into 5 root 2 minus 7. Again same logic, sir. A square minus b square is, it is 50 minus 1, it is 49. Sorry, 50 minus 49, it is 1 in the denominator. So x is 7 plus 5 root 2. Or I can say x is 5 root 2 plus 7. Addition is commutative, sir. I hope you know that concept also. X is 5 root 2 plus 7. 1 by x is 5 root 2 minus 7. So if I add them, x plus 1 by x is 5 root 2 plus 5 root 2 is 10 root 2. X minus 1 by x is 7 minus of minus 7. It is nothing but 14. So very, very important point. Very, very important point. The sum of a variable and its reciprocal in this example is 10 root 2. The difference of variable and its reciprocal in this example is, it is nothing but 14. I hope you are able to understand the logic. Now, you might get a doubt. Sir, instead of doing all these things and wasting our time in the examination, finding 1 by x, all those things, can we generalize it? Can we generalize? Is there any possibility of generalizing it? Yes, definitely you can generalize it, sir. Now, suppose for example, if x is in the form, root a plus root b, if x is in the form root a plus root b, then 1 by x will be in the form root a minus root b. If x is in the format of root a plus root b, then 1 by x will be in the format of root a minus root b, provided root a whole square minus root b whole square, the difference should always be 1. Sir, what are you telling about in this case? Yes, I am talking about root a whole square minus root b whole square, the difference should be 1, and in other words, a should be greater than b. Sir, where is it which we have studied in our previous two examples? We have studied, sir, root a whole square. Root a whole square is, it is nothing but 5 root 2 whole square. Root b whole square is nothing but 7 whole square. The difference between these two is 1. That is the reason I am teaching the same thing. Root a whole square, it is 3 can be written as root 9 square whole square, right? Root 9 square whole square is nothing but 3 itself. So this is root a whole square. Similarly, sorry, not root 9 square whole square. Yes, sorry, sir, root 3 square whole square, right? Sorry, root 3 whole square, I think. Yes. So this is 3 can be written as root 3 whole square. Why lot of confusions? 3 can be written as root 3 whole square. So this is of the form root a whole square. Similarly, 2 root 2 can be written as, okay, so this, if I move it inside, it becomes root 8 whole square, right? Root 8 whole square is nothing but 2 root 2 whole square. So root a whole square minus root b whole square, the difference is nothing but 1 itself, right? The difference is nothing but 1. So I can definitely come to a conclusion very clearly and very easily that if this is the possibility, so x plus 1 by x will be equal to 2 times of root a, and x minus 1 by x will be equal to 2 times of root b. Very, very important generalized conclusion. If x is equal to root a plus root b and 1 by x is equal to root a minus root b, provided root a whole square and root b whole square, the difference is 1, then I can say that the variable and its reciprocal sum is 2 root a, the variable and its reciprocal difference is, it is 2 root b. I hope it is very, very clear for every student who are listening to this till this point of a time. Now, after generalizing, we will take another very, very simple example, sir. This time you don't need to solve all those things what we have solved for first two examples. Suppose for example, the question is x is equal to 4 plus root 15. X is equal to 4 plus root 15. I want to find what is x plus 1 by x value. I also want to find what is x minus 1 by x value. Now simple way of analyzing, sir, very simple way of analyzing. 4 can be written as root 16. So x is root a plus root b, x is root a plus root b, and check it out, they are also saying that root a whole square, that means root 16 whole square minus root b whole square, the difference should be 1. Root 16 whole square is 16, root 15 whole square is 15, 16 minus 15, the difference is 1. Because this condition is satisfied, I can directly say that x plus 1 by x is 2 into root a. Root a value is root 16, which is nothing but 4. 2 into 4 is 8. X minus 1 by x is 2 into root b. It is 2 into root b value is root 15, which cannot be simplified further. I will write it as it is. So that means if you know this beautiful conclusion, you don't need to write all these things and waste your time in the examination, and you also don't need to write all these things like the way I solved it in first 2 examples. You can directly tell the answer, and probably you can tell the answer without using pen also, sir. It will not even take hardly 5 seconds to say this, sir. It is root a minus root b. 16 minus 15 is 1. It is hardly 1 second of time to say the difference as 1. And you also know that x plus 1 by x is 2 root a. So 2 root 16 is 8. X minus 1 by x is 2 root b. 2 root 15 cannot be simplified further, keep it as it is. I hope the logic is very clear. Sir, why are you discussing all these things? Because all these things are pretty much important for our problem solving when I come to solving the original problems. I am not referring to original problems as original examination problems, but I am saying that original problems means I have some set of questions that I want to discuss. When I come to those set of questions, these all will play a very major role. And please remember, sir, this variety of question is very repetitive in nature in SSC examinations. Do not ignore it. Now, coming to the next part. Now see here, sir. Now see here, this is not next part basically. Now think little logically. I told you that first question what I took is x is equal to 3 plus 2 root 2. I believe you remember it. Now I also wrote 1 by x for this. 1 by x is nothing but 1 divided by 1 by x is 1 divided by 3 plus 2 root 2. Correct, right? Now this is what I did. Now instead of taking it as 3 plus 2 root 2, let me take some other rational, what is the third? Suppose let me take x as root 3 plus root 2 for time being. X is equal to root 3 plus root 2. 1 by x will be how much? 1 by x is 1 by root 3 plus root 2. Now think little logically, sir. Suppose assume that I rationalized and did all those extra unnecessary steps. Rationalizing factor is root 3 minus root 2. Here also it is root 3 minus root 2. Now 1 into root 3 minus root 2 is root 3 minus root 2. Denominator is a plus b into a minus b. It is a square minus b square. A square minus b square is a square is root 3 whole square, which is 3. B square is root 2 whole square, which is 2. 3 minus 2 is 1. Now this denominator came here as 1. Now instead of doing all these things and wasting our time, it is very simple, sir. A very simple remembrance will make your problem solving so simpler. Now see here, instead of doing all these things, can I say that first value in the denominator is a square root of something, that is a third. Second value in the denominator is also square root of something, that is another third. That means whenever the denominator is sum or difference of square roots of something or in sum of difference of third, now the simple fact is the denominator of the final value will always be equal to the difference of these whole numbers. That means whole numbers means forget about the square root. Don't take the square root into account. If I remove the square root, the number becomes 3. If I remove the square root, the number becomes 2. The difference of 3 and 2 is 1. That is your denominator. And the numerator will be whatever x value, whatever value or whatever the operator you have here for x, the numerator will be the opposite operator, which is minus in this example. So one more example, sir. Why should we complicate it? Now suppose, for example, x value is root 7 minus root 3, for example. 1 by x value, I don't want you to rationalize all these things and write all these extra steps. Very simple. 7 minus 4, 7 minus 3, the difference is 4. Put it in the denominator. Numerator is root 7 and root 3, you write it. Because x is having minus, 1 by x will have plus in the numerator. Simple. Very simple way of understanding. I don't want you to complicate the things and waste your time. Suppose, for example, one more final example in this particular logic. X is equal to root 5 plus root 2, for example. Root 5 plus root 2. I want to find 1 by x. So numerator will be root 5 minus root 2 for sure. Denominator is 5 minus 2, which is 3. Simple, sir. Don't waste your time and do all those unnecessary extra steps. That time will be very, very important in your examination hall. I hope the idea is very clear for you people. Now, next thing is, let us move on to the next variety of question. This is my second variety, whatever I am discussing right now. First variety is what I have discussed till now. Second variety is what I am discussing right now. I will also move on to the third variety, fourth variety. We will see some varieties of questions before we move on to the actual questions what we actually planned of taking in this particular class. Now see here, sir. Listen to this carefully. Second variety. Suppose, for example, my x happens to be root a plus root b format, but this is not the end of x. I will also have root a minus root b also for x, but I will divide them. X is root a plus root b divided by root a minus root b. I want to find x plus 1 by x, right? I want to find x plus 1 by x. Now listen carefully, sir. X plus 1 by x is equal to, x is nothing but root a plus root b divided by root a minus root b. 1 by x is reciprocal of it, root a minus root b divided by root a plus root b. Now assume that you simplify this by taking LCM. Why am I doing so much of mistakes? I don't know, sir. Right? Assume that. Let us take LCM and solve it. Denominator is x minus y into x plus y format. It is x square minus y square. X square is root a whole square, that is nothing but a, minus y square is root b whole square, that is nothing but b. Now here root of a plus b cross multiplied with root of a plus b. It is root of a plus b whole square. X plus y whole square. It is root a whole square plus root b whole square plus 2 into x into y, 2 into root a into root b. Similarly, if I cross multiply root a minus root b whole square, again it is a, it is b minus 2 into root a into root b. 2 into root a into root b minus 2 into root a into root b cancels. Numerator happens to be a plus a, 2a, again b plus b, it is 2b. So this is nothing but x plus 1 by x is what I am talking about. I can write this as 2 into a plus b. If I take 2 common, it is 2 into a plus b divided by a minus b. Very, very important concept. Very, very important second variety of problem. I will write it in the next screen once again. If the numerator is the sum of the surds and the denominator is the difference of the surds. If the numerator is the sum of the surds and the denominator is the difference of the surds, then I can write the sum and the reciprocal of the variable. Sum of variable and its reciprocal, I can write it as 2 multiplied by numerator is the sum a plus b, denominator is the difference a minus b, but without the third symbol, that is without the square root symbol. Very easy way of remembering. Here the numerator is a plus b, but it is inside the square root individually. That remove the square root and write it here a plus b. Here the denominator is a minus b, but it is inside the square root individually. Once again, remove the square root, write it in the denominator a minus b, and multiply it by 2. One of the very important remembrance, you should have it. If you don't remember, this also will keep repeating in the examination. You should probably do all these extra steps also in the examination if you don't remember that, and waste your time. I suggest you not to waste your time by doing all these things. Just remember this one thing, it will be very simpler for you to solve it. Now, let us solve a question based on this, sir. Let us solve a question. Now see here, suppose if I give you, if x is equal to root 10 plus 3 divided by root 10 minus 3 and x into y is equal to 1, x into y is equal to 1, I need to find x plus y, right? I need to find x plus y. Now you might be wondering, what is that y, sir? In this question I don't even have y value defined. How will I know what is y? Very simpler, sir. The concept what we learnt is x plus 1 by x. 1 by x is nothing but the reciprocal of x. Correct, right? Can I say that from this particular notation I can write y value as 1 by x? If I substitute here, this becomes x plus 1 by x. That means indirectly they are asking you the variable and its reciprocal sum once again. That means x is equal to root a plus 3 can be written as root 9, which is nothing but root b. Again root a minus root b. Root b is nothing but 9, root 9 once again. I already know that x plus 1 by x can be directly written as, it is 2 times of numerator is the sum of the two numerical values without the square root, denominator is the difference. So 10 plus 9 is 19, 19 divided by 1 is 19, 19 multiplied by 2 is 38. It is just 2 to 3 seconds answer if you know the shortcut. If you don't know the shortcuts, you will probably end up wasting a lot of time in the examination hall. I suggest you to remember this beautiful logic, and I made it so easy for you to remember. It's not a complication for you to remember as well. It is very easy to remember, sir. I hope whatever the second variety we have solved is very clear for you people till now. Excuse me. Third variety of problems you might get in the examination, and I am sure that this third variety every student listening to the class knows about it. I am sure you know this, a plus b whole square. Damn sure you will say the answer within a second. What is a plus b whole square? If I ask you, a plus b whole square is a square plus b square plus 2ab, and similarly a minus b whole square is, it is a square plus b square minus 2ab. Now think logically, sir. I want to take the difference of these two. So left hand side becomes a plus b whole square minus a minus b whole square. If I take the difference, this will cancel, this will also cancel, and this will be added. 2ab plus 2ab becomes 4ab. Now this is one of the notations which is very important. A plus b whole square minus a minus b whole square is nothing but 4ab. Now using the same logic, I derived this. A plus b whole square minus a minus b whole square is nothing but 4ab. I took a plus b whole square, I took a minus b whole square, just subtracted both of them. Now I can do it in the other way as well. Now suppose I have only a plus b whole square available with me. A plus b whole square is a square plus b square plus 2ab. Now what I will do is, for this a plus b whole square, I will subtract 4ab on the left hand side. Similarly, I will subtract 4ab on the right hand side also. If I subtract the same terms on both LHS and RHS, the equation is still unaltered. There is no harm in writing like this. Now, can I say that a plus b whole square minus 4ab is equal to a square plus b square? 2ab minus 4ab is nothing but minus 2ab, right? That is nothing but minus 2ab. So that means a square plus b square minus 2ab, that is nothing but a minus b whole square. Now if you observe carefully, this is exactly what I got in my previous screen also. Just shift the a minus b whole square which is present on right hand side to the left hand side. Just shift minus 4ab to right hand side from left hand side. A plus b whole square minus a minus b whole square is equal to minus 4ab. If it shift, it becomes plus 4ab, and that is exactly what I got here also. Both are absolutely same. Now in the second notation, I took it and solved by using a plus b whole square. Suppose, assume that I only have this notation with me called as a minus b whole square. This is a square plus b square minus 2ab. Now for this a minus b whole square, on the left hand side I will add 4ab, and for the same right hand side term what I had earlier, I will add 4ab. Now this happens to be 4ab minus 2ab is nothing but it is plus 2ab. Left hand side still remains the same as a minus b whole square plus 4ab is equal to a square plus b square plus 2ab. A minus b whole square plus 4ab is equal to right hand side becomes a plus b whole square. Now if you remember, this is once again exactly the same pattern like I got in 2 slides before. A plus b whole square, shift this to the right hand side, minus 4ab equals a minus b whole square. Or if you don't want to do like that, shift this a minus b whole square to the right hand side. A plus b whole square minus a minus b whole square is equal to 4ab. That is what I got here. That means I have told you that a plus b whole square and a minus b whole square, the difference is 4ab, but I have proved it to you in 3 different ways. Whichever the way you are convenient, you can pick that method. Now what about problems for this variety, third variety? We will see the problems based on this third variety when we solve some other extra varieties of questions. And I am sure that you will understand at that point of a time. Let us not waste our time right now by solving this particular things. Right now, let us move on to fourth variety, what can be asked in the examination. Let us see all the types of all the possible varieties. I am not saying every possible variety in this first class itself. I am saying that little possible varieties we will see before we start solving the questions what we actually planned of solving it. Now see here, sir. Suppose for example x is nothing but 5 plus 2 root 6. X is nothing but 5 plus 2 root 6. This variety is very very important. It is one of the most important, and this after this variety we will start solving some excellent questions. X is nothing but 5 plus 2 root 6. Now I want to find root x. Now listen carefully. Root x is nothing but square root of 5 plus 2 root 6. Correct, right? Square root of 5 plus 2 root 6. Now we all know that we don't like something called as square root, cube root, fourth root, all those things being given in the question. Whenever we have square root or thirds in for that matter, we always feel like the question or the number looks very awkward. That means I don't want the square root to be there in the problems. If I don't want the square root to be there, then the simplest way is, inside that square root I should have the square of some value, because square root of square will nullify and you will be getting only the whole number value which is there inside the square root. That means we can easily identify, or we can easily come to a conclusion that if I want to remove the square root, I want to have something inside the square root, and that something should be square of something. Getting the point, right? For example, I want to remove this square root. That means inside the square root I will make it a habit of writing something in the form as a plus b whole square. So therefore square root of a plus b whole square will eventually become a plus b, and a plus b is good looking for us. Similarly, I can also plan of writing a minus b whole square inside the square root. So that square root of square will nullify and I will be left with a minus b, which is good looking once again for us. And I also told that a plus b whole square is very important notation once again, sir. I am writing it once again because I am sure you should know this. A plus b whole square is a square plus b square plus 2 into a into b. That means I have this numerical value called as 2, and I want this 2 to be there in the a plus b whole square format. Then only I can express it as a plus b whole square. Similarly, a minus b whole square also is a square plus b square. It is minus 2 into a into b. Again, that 2 will be very important factor for me. Sir, what are you trying to say? Now, I will express all my numbers in this form, so that I can express the value inside the square root as a minus b whole square, or I can express the value inside the square root of a plus b whole square, and the square root along with the square inside that square root will be nullified and I will get a beautiful value, right? Now let us see how to do it. Now x is 5 plus 2 root 6. I want to find root x. Root x is root of 5 plus 2 root 6, right? Root of 5 plus 2 root 6. Now that means I just now told you that whatever which is present inside the square root, that means the one which is present inside the square root is 5 plus 2 root 6. I want to express it as square of something. I want to express it as square of something. How can I do that? Now see here, sir. Everyone listen carefully. Again, I am making use of the same notation, a square, a plus b whole square. It is a square plus b square plus 2 into a into b. Now, what is the given value? Given value is 5 plus 2 root 6. Everyone listen carefully, sir. Given value is 5 plus 2 root 6. Let me write it in this new screen. A plus b whole square is nothing but a square. You don't need to actually do all these things in the exam, sir. First question I am explaining you in detail. That's the only thing I will be doing. So I have a number called as 5 plus 2 root 6. Now if I compare, everyone observe carefully. First question, listen carefully. If I compare, after plus I have 2 in the formula, after plus again I have 2 in this particular given number. So these two are compensated, these two are exactly the same. Now this a into b, the product should become root 6, and a square plus b square, the sum should become 5, it seems. That is what they are saying basically. Now very simple, sir. Can I write it as a into b? I will write this as root 3 into root 2, because 6 is nothing but 3 into 2, root 6 is root 3 into root 2. Now that means a value is root 3, b value is root 2. Substitute here also. A value is root 3 whole square, which is 3, b value is root 2 whole square, which is 2, and 3 plus 2 is nothing but 5, which is what is given in the question also. That means I can write this entire expression of 5 plus 2 root 6 as a plus b b whole square. A value is 3, b value is 2. I am sorry, a value is not 3. A square value is 3. So a value is root 3, b value is root 2. So it is root 3 plus root 2 whole square. That means 5 plus 2 root 6 is root 3 plus root 2 whole square. But the question says square root of 5 plus 2 root 6. That means the final answer will be square root of root 3 plus root 2 whole square. So this square root will cancel with the square which is present inside that square root, and the eventually answer will become root 3 plus root 2. I hope the first question is very clear. So answer is root x value is root 3 plus root 2. But you might say this is a lengthy method. Yes, it is a lengthy method what I have solved right now, but that is only for your understanding purpose. You don't need to write all these things in the examination and waste your time. Let us see how beautifully we can solve it. Do not worry about it. We will solve various varieties of problems based on that. Now see here, sir. Suppose for example, let me take another question. X is equal to 2 plus root 3. They are asking you what is root x. Now first of all, forget about root x. I want to find something called as 2 plus 2 root 3, and I want to express it in the form of a plus b whole square or a minus b whole square, and then later I want to take the square root of it. Now 2 plus 2 root 3 I will consider it. Now see here, sir, we know that because there is a plus in between, what we are discussing or what we are trying to do right now is it is a plus b whole square. Because there is a plus in between, it is a plus b whole square is what we are trying to do it. Now see here, sir, a plus b whole square is a square plus b square plus 2ab. That means that 2 is missing here. That means I will write it as 2 root 3. Right, I will write it as 2 root 3. If I write, that means if I multiply root 3 by 2, I should also multiply this first number 2 also by 2. Right, first number 2. This also should be multiplied by 2. So that becomes 2 into 2, 4. If I multiply the entire expression by 2, I should divide by 2. Then only the equation will be balanced. So I can write it as half plus 4 plus 2, half into 4 plus 2 root 3. Now this is nothing but half into 4 plus 2 into a value is root 3, but b value we don't have anything. I can write it as root 1 because root 3 into root 1 is root 3 itself. Now if you observe carefully, I can directly write this as root 3 root 1 is available. That means can I say it as, think little logically right now, sir, this is nothing but 3 plus 1. 3 plus 1 is nothing but 4. That means directly I can write the answer as root 3 root 1, and because the question has a plus, write plus, take the square root. Simple. Don't need to write all those extra steps. So final answer will be square root of x. So square root of x is half square root is 1 by root 2. Root 3 plus 1 whole square root is root 3 plus 1. 1 by root 2 into root 3 plus 1 should be the final answer. Here also if you check it out. Root 2 plus root 5. Forget about root 2 and root 5. That means forget about square root. 3 plus 2 is 5, and that 5 is only there. So directly you can write the answer as root 3 and root 2. Because the question has a plus, write down plus in between. Simple, sir. Let us not complicate. Now one more example. After this I think probably it will be very easy for you to understand. Suppose directly I will write the question square root of, okay, let me write it like this, square root of 5 minus root 21. Square root of 5 minus root 21. Now I will take inside the square root term and I will simplify first. 5 minus root 21, I should express it as a plus b whole square or a minus b whole square. But I am sure that I will express it as a minus b whole square because I have minus sign here. Now this minus sign, after that it is minus 2ab. 2 is missing. Write down 2. If I write 2, I should multiply 5 also by 2. It becomes 10. If I multiply entire thing by 2, I should divide by 2. So it is half of 10 into 10, half of 10 minus 2 root 21. That root 21 can be written as root 7 into root 3. Now again think logically, you don't need to express everything and waste your time. Forget about the square roots. 7 plus 3 is how much? 10. That 10 is only what is given here. So directly you can tell the answer as half into, write down this root 7 as it is, write down this root 3 as it is. Because there is a minus sign in between, put minus, and this is square and it is under square, but I want to take the square root of the whole value. So final answer will become square root of 1 by 2 is 1 by root 2. Square root of root 3 minus root 7 whole square is, it is root 3 minus, sorry, not root 3 minus root 7, root 7 minus root 3 whole square is, it is root 7 minus root 3. I hope the idea is clear. Once again I am explaining you, sir. So it is root 3 into root 2. Forget about simplifying to this particular format and wasting your time. 3 plus 2 is 5. That 5 is only what is present here. So directly you can write it as root 3 and root 2. Whatever sign is in between, put it in between here. Similarly, next question. So this is 3 plus 1 is nothing but 4. Directly you have. So it is root 3 root 1. Plus is there, put down plus here also. Similarly here also. 7 plus 3 is 10. Directly you have 10 here. Root 7, root 3, minus is there in between, put down minus. The next doubt what you might get is, what if 7 plus 3 is 10? 7 plus 3 is 10. What if 10 is not present here? That we will see it in problem. Do not worry about it. But as of now, I believe that there are 4 different varieties of problems what we have solved. First variety of problem what we have solved is x plus 1 by x is, x plus 1 by x is nothing but 2 root a, x minus 1 by x is nothing but 2 root b, provided root of, sorry, not x plus 1 by x, it is x plus 1 by x, yes, correct sir, what I said is correct itself. X plus 1 by x is 2 root a, x minus 1 by x is 2 root b. If x is root a plus root b and root of a square minus b square is 1. I have not moved down the slides to the previous slides, but I am explaining. I believe that you are able to correlate. Second variety of problem what we have solved is, if x is square root of a plus square root of b divided by square root of a minus square root of b. Let me write it here so that you will also not get confused. If x is nothing but root a plus root b divided by root a minus root b, then x plus 1 by x can be written as 2 times of, forget about square roots everywhere and write as it is, a plus b divided by a minus b. Very simple to remember, sir. Next third variety what we have seen is a plus b whole square and a minus b whole square. The difference is 4ab, and I have proved it in 3 different ways also. And the last variety what we have seen is x is some third. I want to find root x, and that is very simple. Either express this x as a plus b whole square format or a minus b whole square format, depending on the sign what is being given in the particular value of x. And I believe that we will solve many more varieties in these problems, so that you will understand in a much more easiest way. In fact, there are so many varieties I have already discussed. I myself have taken so many varieties of variety 4 what I have discussed as a plus b whole square or a minus b whole square in my certs class. Please refer to my certs class for more varieties of problems there. But having said that, here also we will discuss. Do not worry about it. We will definitely discuss, and we will make sure that these problems you will master and you will solve it within seconds in your examination hall. I hope the first 4 varieties, before moving on to the problems what we actually thought of solving, sir, I hope it is clear till this point of time, sir.